From learner to royal, that sounds impossible, right? But let me ask you something. Why do people admire the British accent so much? Why do actors, speakers, and even business leaders work hard to sound British? The answer is simple. The British accent is not just about speaking English, it's about sounding confident, clear, and powerful. And today, I'll show you how yes, you can start perfecting your British accent. No magic, no complicated grammar, just clear steps you can use every single day. First, let's understand why people call it the royal accent. In the UK, there are many accents: London, Manchester, Liverpool, Scotland, Wales, and more. But the one most people think of when they say the British accent is something called received pronunciation, or RP. RP is often linked to newsreaders, educated speakers, and yes, the royal family. It's sometimes called the Queen's English or BBC English. Now, does this mean everyone in the UK speaks like that? Number. In fact, only a small percentage do, but RP has become the international symbol of British English. It's clear, professional, and respected worldwide. That's why students and professionals everywhere want to learn it. So when you practice the British accent, you're not just copying sounds, you're learning how to sound more polished, confident, and professional. Before we get to the practical steps, let's talk about the biggest mistakes learners make when trying to speak with a British accent. If you can avoid these, you'll improve much faster. Many learners think, if I want to sound British, I must sound 100% like the Queen or the King. But this is not realistic and it's not necessary. Your accent is part of your identity. You don't need to throw it away. The real goal is clarity. If people can understand you easily, your accent is already successful. Remember, even in the UK, people have dozens of different accents, from Scottish to Liverpool to London. So don't pressure yourself to erase your accent. Instead, focus on polishing it. Sometimes learners try so hard to sound British that they stretch every single sound. For example, they might say water instead of a natural water. This makes your speech sound robotic, not fluent. The secret is balance. Pronounce clearly, but keep the flow natural. English, especially British English, is not just about words, it's about music. Think about this sentence: I really like it here. In British English, the pitch usually rises slightly in the middle and falls at the end. If you speak all the words in the same flat tone, I really like it here, you sound bored or unnatural. Many learners focus only on grammar and forget intonation, but intonation is what makes English sound alive. English learners are often exposed to American movies, British news, and mixed teachers, so they end up saying some words in American style, others in British style. For example, saying water is American instead of water. Saying schedule is American instead of schedule. This mix is confusing. You don't have to be perfect, but try to be consistent. Choose one style and stick with it. British English has very clear word stress. For example, comfortable, not comfortable. A divert, not a divertisement. If you stress the wrong syllable, you might sound unclear or even confuse the listener. Many learners think speaking quickly will make them sound more native. But the truth is, the fastest way to lose clarity is speed. Even native British speakers speak at different speeds depending on context. For interviews, presentations, or daily conversations, clarity is always more important than speed. So, here's the good news. If you avoid these mistakes, if you focus on clarity, natural rhythm, consistent style, stress, and controlled speed, you'll already be far ahead of most learners trying to sound British. All right, now that you know the common mistakes, let's flip the script. Here are clear steps that will help you start sounding more British without stress, without confusion, and without trying to erase your own identity. The British accent is famous for its vowel sounds. They are longer, clearer, and sometimes more open than in American English. For example, cat, not flat, but more open, cat. Fast, not short, but stretched, fa-cent. Cup, not tight, but rounder, cup. Here's a quick exercise. Pick 5 words with vowels and exaggerate them slightly in front of a mirror. You'll notice how much more British your words already sound. This is one of the easiest changes you can make. In standard British English, if a word ends in R and the next word doesn't start with a vowel, you don't pronounce the R. Car, ka, teacher, teach. But if the next word starts with a vowel, the R links to it, car engine, ka renjin. Teacher of English, teach a R of English. This linking gives your speech a smooth flowing sound. British English loves crisp consonants, especially T. American, water. British, water. Try this mini drill. Repeat bottle of water 3 times in British style. Bottle of water. You'll instantly hear the difference. Think of English as music. British English usually rises in the middle of a sentence and falls at the end. For example, I'd like a cup of tea. Starts neutral, rises slightly on cup, falls down at tea. If you speak every word flat, I would like a cup of tea, you sound robotic. But when you add melody, you sound natural. A fun exercise. Say a simple sentence while pretending you're telling a story. Notice how your pitch naturally goes up and down. That's intonation. Choose a British speaker you like, maybe the BBC, a movie actor, or even King Charles. Play a short clip, listen carefully, and then repeat immediately after them like an echo. This method is called shadowing. It helps your ears, mouth, and brain work together. At first, it feels difficult, but after a few days, you'll notice your words flowing more naturally. Let me give you a real story. A student from Brazil once told me, Adam, I can write English perfectly, but when I speak, I don't feel respected. He wanted to sound more professional for job interviews in London, so we worked on his accent step by step, vowels, consonants, intonation. Within 3 months, he didn't sound like a different person. He still sounded Brazilian, but clearer, sharper, and more confident. Guess what? He landed his dream job at an international company in the UK, not because he became native, but because his English sounded confident and professional. Now, let me give you a simple but powerful routine you can do every day. The best part? It takes only 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes daily can create big changes in your accent over time. Start by exercising your mouth. Think of it like stretching before a workout. Tongue twisters force your tongue and lips to move quickly and clearly. For example, 33 thirsty thinkers thought thrilling thoughts. Don't worry if you can't say it perfectly. Start slowly, then get faster. This warms up your muscles and prepares you for clearer sounds. Pick a short clip of a British speaker. This could be a BBC newsreader, an interview with a British actor, or even a royal family speech. Choose something short, 30 to 60 seconds. Short clips are easier to copy and repeat. Listen once. Just listen. Before you try speaking, close your eyes and focus on the rhythm, melody, and pauses. Don't worry about every word. Just notice how they speak, not just what they say. Now, play the clip again. This time, repeat immediately after the speaker, like an echo. Try to copy not just the words, but the tone, speed, and energy. This is called shadowing, and it's one of the fastest ways to train your ear and mouth at the same time. This feels strange, but it's extremely powerful. Use your phone to record your version of the same sentence. Then listen back and compare it with the original speaker. Ask yourself, are my vowels stretched enough? Did I pronounce the T clearly? Does my rhythm sound flat or musical? Here's the magic. When you listen to yourself, you hear mistakes you don't notice while speaking. Over time, your recordings will show your progress, and that's very motivating. And that's it, just 5 steps. If you repeat this routine every day, even for only 10 minutes, your British accent will start to feel more natural in a matter of weeks. Think of it like brushing your teeth. It's small, daily care, but the results add up. Finally, remember this, your accent is part of your identity. You don't need to erase it, you just need to polish it. The goal is not to sound like the queen or the king. The goal is to speak in a way that others find clear, confident, and pleasant to listen to. And here's the truth. Confidence matters more than accent. Even if your accent is not perfect, confidence makes people listen. So, from learner to royal, it's not magic, it's practice. Master your vowels, sharpen your consonants, follow the rhythm, and practice daily. Your British accent won't change overnight, but every day it will get clearer, stronger, and more natural. I'm Adam, and this is Everyday Fluent English. If you found this lesson helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a new video.